I went to a job interview and the manager asked why I never paid him back in high school. Turns out he was my old bully. The second I walked into that office and saw him behind the desk, my stomach completely dropped. Tyler Hoffman. Same stupid smirk, same greasy hair, just wearing a cheap suit now instead of his old ripped jeans. He was flipping through my resume like he didn't already know exactly who I was. Well, he said, leaning back in his chair. Look who finally decided to show their face. You know, I've been wondering about that $20 you borrowed from me in 10th grade. When exactly were you planning on paying that back? I wanted to laugh. $20? This dude used to steal my lunch money twice a week. He once shoved me so hard into my locker that I had bruises on my back for weeks, and now he's sitting here acting like I owed him something? But I needed this job. My rent was due in 5 days, and my checking account had exactly $37 in it. I don't remember borrowing any money from you, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. But I'm here about the sales position. Tyler started asking me all these ridiculous questions, like why I thought I deserved to work at his company when I couldn't even handle high school. He kept bringing up embarrassing stuff from years ago, like the time I threw up during gym class or when I got pantsed in front of the cafeteria. Every answer I gave, he'd just shake his head and make notes on his stupid clipboard. The whole interview lasted maybe 10 minutes before he stood up and said they'd be in touch. I knew right then I wasn't getting the job. I walked out of there feeling exactly like that scared 15-year-old kid again, wanting to punch something but too afraid to actually do it. But here's where it gets good. I was so angry that I did something completely crazy. I went straight home and started digging through all my old stuff from high school. Yearbooks, photo albums, even my mom's Facebook pictures from back then. I was looking for anything I could find about Tyler. That's when I found it. A photo from our senior class trip to the beach. There's Tyler in the background, clearly wasted, making out with our math teacher, Mrs. Peterson. She was married with kids. He was 18, technically legal, but she definitely wasn't supposed to be there drinking with students. I'd completely forgotten about that whole drama until I saw the picture. Everyone talked about it for like a week. Then graduation happened and we all moved on. But Mrs. Peterson? She got fired that summer, lost her teaching license, got divorced, the whole thing. And Tyler? He just bragged about it to anyone who would listen. So I did some research. Turns out Tyler's company has this huge contract with the school district. They provide all the office supplies and equipment for like 15 schools in the area. Their whole business basically depends on that government contract. And guess what? The school board takes ethics violations very seriously, especially when it involves former employees. I made a nice little package. The photo, some screenshots of Tyler's old social media posts where he bragged about hooking up with a teacher, even found a few people who remembered the story and were willing to talk about it. Then I sent it all to the school board with a polite letter explaining how concerned I was about the character of people they were doing business with. 3 weeks later, I saw on the local news that Tyler's company lost their contract. Something about failure to meet ethical standards and concerns about leadership. His business went under within 2 months. Turns out when you lose a contract worth $500,000 a year, it's pretty hard to keep the lights on. But the best part? Last month I was at the grocery store and guess who was bagging groceries in the checkout line? Tyler Hoffman, wearing that same stupid polyester vest they make all the employees wear, asking customers if they wanted paper or plastic. When he saw me, he turned bright red and didn't say a word. I bought a pack of gum just so I could go through his line. When he handed me my receipt, I smiled real big and said, "Hey Tyler, by the way, you never paid me back for all those lunches you stole." We'll call it even though. The look on his face was absolutely priceless.